very short rejoinder on the matter of the question on how come we allow the prosecution or the spokespersons of the prosecution to go overboard or to go beyond the line. Well, I think we handle this case in the manner by which we feel it should be handled within the bounds of law, within an honorable manner, considering that we are defending the Chief Justice of the land. Even if people would suggest that we violate certain laws or we discuss the case in public, being sub judice, we will not do that. We will always defend the Chief Justice in the manner which we think is consistent with the law.
The ancient Romans had a dictum, Ruat Celum Fiat Justitia. Let justice be done even if the heavens will fall. Now, you are in Cebu, precisely to meet us. I will be speaking primarily for Cebu. I was informed by well-informed sources that the Archbishop of Cebu, which is the president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, will consecrate Cebu. But I hope he will consecrate the Philippines too, with the permission of the Bishop of the Philippines. But I know for that since the Archbishop of Cebu, he will definitely consecrate Cebu to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, Our Lady of Fatima, on May 12th, which is the anniversary of the first apparition of Blessed Mother Mary to Lucia. Now, Cardinal Sin, I heard Cardinal Sin because I was also a media man at the time. Cardinal Sin told us at the cathedral, in the presence of Cardinal Vidal, that they in Manila look to Cebu for spiritual upliftment, for spiritual guidance. Why? Because the moral leadership of Cebu at that time was a beacon for the whole Philippines. Now, it has never happened before. Cebu Governor Briones consecrated Cebu to Cristo Rey, Christ the King. Did any governor in the Philippines do that? No. And when GMA consecrated the Philippines to the Lady of Our Lady of All Nations, she did it in Cebu at the instance of the Monsignori, the priest of Cebu. Now, therefore, I'm just wondering whether you have mentioned God, and that's very well taken. You know, you could be, defending a lost case, because it's a case of, let's say, as the Supreme Court American Justice have said, the impeachment is primarily a political decision. And if the majority of the justices of the senators right or wrong, vote along party lines, or vote against the person to be possibly impeached because they dislike him or her, then the case is lost. So I suggest that you, wherever you go, especially in Cebu, you tie up with the clergy. The church has already said that the church is neutral in this point officially. But I'm sure there are many priests, many clergymen of privately who will agree that in the respective churches, they will ask the people to offer this problem to the Lord. So the Blessed Mother Mary, so that God will let His justice, will let His Holy Spirit shine in the hearts, on the hearts of the senators, so that God's justice will prevail, not the crooked justice of, well, I would continue that. Thank you.
Senate President, what would you agree with any?
Well, he has been doing a great job. I think in the manner by which he handled the proceedings, in terms of the procedure, you will see that he was truly a practitioner during his time as an active lawyer. You would see he knows when to resolve an objection, you know when he knows how to resolve controversies, and he is able to elicit information. Haven't you noticed when he starts asking questions to witnesses, he's even better than some other judges on how to elicit information. he has been doing a great job. And I think both sides have been very vocal about this. And I think one reason why the Senate has been receiving good reports and very good ratings would be because of his performance as Senate President also in his impeachment issue.
Good afternoon. I'm Yasmo from San Stasio. What do you think? What do you think of the latest decision of the Supreme Court on Hacienda Luisita? Can it affect the impeachment trial?
I don't know if it will affect the impeachment trial. But I have to say, I admire the Supreme Court for the decision. It has been their firm position that that land is to be returned to the farmers. The only issue that was controversial, as I understand it, in this last round, was the issue of valuation, which I understand is the very issue that is unacceptable to the President. I think they wanted the land valued at 10 billion or something like that. And the Supreme Court decided that it should be valued only at 196, if I'm not mistaken. 196 billion. Will it affect the votes in the impeachment, the outcome? I hope that if it does, it will affect it by showing the senator judges that the Chief Justice is but one member of the Supreme Court, and that the issue, as viewed by the Supreme Court, is seen by them in a very objective capacity. In other words, I hope they will see this decision as a demonstration that the Chief Justice is not manipulating the case, that he is not in any position to manipulate the case, that his only contribution is to continue leading the court, administering his office, seeing to it that the court is running properly. And I hope it will be made clear to the public that he does not control the Supreme Court in the manner that the palace is accusing him of. The palace has been saying that Chief Justice Corona and certain justices of the Supreme Court control the Supreme Court, and all their decisions favor the past administration. This is completely untrue. And I think that the decisions in Hacienda Luisita, there was another decision in the PASAP case. There was also another decision in the PASAP case which didn't get quite as much attention. In that case, if I'm not mistaken, the latest decision allows now the PASAP itself to file a motion for reconsideration in order that the promulgation can happen quickly. So you see, these are clear examples of the judiciary being able to function properly, even despite all the pressure being brought to bear by the palace and its extensive resources. I hope it will not affect the decision. What it will affect, as the Chief Justice has said, is the level of anger of the President. The Chief Justice expects that the retaliation level will go higher. And as you can see, all of a sudden now they're accusing him of having a $10 million bank account. These are all lies. My goodness, they're such blatant lies. It is ridiculous. The palace has been saying from day one that they want the Chief Justice to resign. If it is true that there is such a $10 million account, they would have brought this up during the first day. He would resign immediately, being unable to explain some like that. And let me remind everyone that disclosing any information about dollar accounts is punished by law. All right? Maybe we should ask the Ombudsman to explain, where did you get this information? There is no exception. There is no exception. Now, we have not been asked to act on this case yet, but I have been asked if we're going to do anything. The moment the Chief Justice says so, we are ready.
Do you believe that the Supreme Court decision on Hacienda Visita has directly or indirectly uplifted the image of the Supreme Court Justice. Chief Justice.
I don't believe so. Just because I think the timing, it's just coincidental with this impeachment. In a sense that, the Supreme Court has a certain way of putting decisions, pending cases on their calendar for decision. And it was really ripe for decision. Which also makes, I think, this kind of support, maybe the theory of Chief Justice Corona. Remember, the first day of the impeachment trial, he gave a speech in the Supreme Court, and he had a conspiracy theory of why this impeachment complaint was filed against him. And one of his theories was that it was because of the President in relation to Hacienda Luisita. And I think another circumstance that kind of supports the view of the Chief Justice is when the administration was publicly maybe releasing to the media that they had other justices lined up for impeachment. And this seemed to me as intimidating the Supreme Court, that if they don't decide cases in favor of the President or the current administration, that they can also be subjected to the same kind of embarrassment and scrutiny that the Chief Justice was facing in this impeachment case. And I think that the decision of the Supreme Court in Hacienda Luisita, in spite of all these insinuations, is really admirable because it shows that the Supreme Court is standing strong and firm in their obligation to decide cases no matter how controversial or no matter how much it is, maybe how much it would upset the current administration or the President himself. So I think it's not really to uplift Chief Justice Corona individually or as a person, but more of uplifting the whole Supreme Court in terms of their integrity and their independence, not only from the current administration, but from all external factors which may affect their independence.
May not be answered by any of the four guests. How much are you getting, sir, from this undertaking? This is, of course, a question that came up one time because according to the members of the prosecution, they're all no. I don't know if it's true.
The members of the prosecution, well, I think the question you should be asking us is how much are we spending? Let me tell you, the expense is quite considerable for a litigation like this. It costs about 200 to 250,000 just for photocopy and service of pleadings a month. That is the expense. Okay? The food comes to several thousand pesos a day because there's 13 of us and we have some assistants. We have to feed about 25 people a day, twice a day. Okay, and we cannot feed them canteen food. Yeah, like my friend here, Tranquil Salvador. You cannot just feed him lutong bahay. He eats lutong bahay when he's at home. So the expense is quite great. And who pays for that? Well, we advance the expenses and we are reimbursed for the expenses. But let me tell you, I come like Attorney Kicho. I have my own small law office. I have not generated a single centavo of professional time for my office since December. Fortunately, I have a hard-working partner who is taking care of business right now. But the reports about pro bono work are completely true.